Hello, story makers. Welcome to episode 10 of Making Moments. I'm Miss Robin and I'm very happy to be here with you. This week we've been exploring and investigating wood materials, and we've played with popsicle sticks and toothpicks and clothespins and wooden beads. And today we're introducing another new material, wooden spools. This is an old spool it used to have thread on it. And I've got all different sizes. I've got large spools, medium spools, and small spools. So that's going to be all kinds of fun. If you don't have any wood spools, maybe you have some corks that are kind of the same shape and roll just like spools would. So that's an alternative for you. Now, we've had a challenge every day this week. And today's challenge is, what can you imagine making that shows the last thing that happened in your story? That's called a closing. So all through the week, we've learned about a setting and adding details to our setting, and we've made characters, and our characters have had dialogue, and they've had likes and dislikes. So now we're going to end our stories with the last thing that happened, an action. And spools are the perfect thing to practice with because look, yeah, they're easy to roll around and have some action with. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking this kind of reminds me of a car. So I think I'm going to make a car. I'm looking for two spools that are kind of like about the same size. All my spools seem to be different shapes and sizes. Okay, I found two that are kind of alike. Now I want to tell you an interesting thing. I'm going to use some Play-Doh as an attachment for my car. And my two spools are the axles of my car for the wheels. And I'm going to use a clothespin for the body of my car. Now, earlier in the week, if you'll remember, the clothespin was a character. So makers can use materials in all different ways, all different times. So we can imagine and then reimagine materials. Now, I'm going to have some wooden beads be my characters in my car. And I'm just going to attach them with the Play-Doh. So now I've got two people in my car. And those two characters are two sisters, and they're named Charlotte and Anne. And Charlotte and Anne wanted to go on a drive in the country one day, and they loved just driving carefully and slowly around the mountain roads. And then all of a sudden, their car started slowing down when they were on a country drive. And Charlotte said to Anne, "What in the world is going on?" And Anne said, "Oh my goodness, I forgot to get gas." And all of a sudden, their car ran out of gas and came to a stop. Do you see how that was the end of my story? It was the last thing that happened. It ran out of gas and it came to a stop. So sometimes we can end our stories with the last action or the last thing that happened. Now, let's try another story, because there's all different actions in the world and you can do any action you want. Now, as I'm looking at these spools, I'm thinking they're kind of reminding me, oh, I just got a good idea. I've seen horse races before where the horses jump over a barrel. So I'm going to set up my spools like barrels I'm going to have a horse race. The clothespin is going to be my horse, and the horse is going to be in a race. And the horse came around the bend and he jumped over the first, I don't remember what those things are called, maybe a barrel. He jumped over the first barrel and the second barrel and the third barrel, and he slid across the finish line and won the race. That was the last thing that happened. He slid across the finish line and won the race. Do you see how I ended my story? Now, yesterday we played with wooden beads and they were spheres, but today is the first time I've played with something that's a circle. So I'm trying to think of I just got an idea of what thing could be a circle. How about a birthday cake? How about, this is my character's birthday party. Oh, this is gonna be fun. So my character, let me think of a name for my character. How about Ralph? So it was Ralph's birthday, and he had invited all of his friends over for a birthday party. And the birthday party had been tons of fun. And the very last thing that the children were going to do at the birthday party was to eat birthday cake. Here's my character from yesterday, I'll reuse it. So Ralph, everybody sang happy birthday, and then Ralph made a wish and blew out his candles. that was the end of my story. He waited all day and that's what he got to do. Do you see how any action, your very last thing that happens in whatever event or whatever you were playing and doing, the last thing that happens, that can be the end of your story. How about that? I have loved playing and making with you this week, Story Makers. I hope you have fun developing a new closing by figuring out the last thing that happened, and that can be the end of your story. Have so much fun today playing and making, and I'll see you soon.